Hello, friends. Today I am going to speak to you about Joan of Arc, Saint Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc, also known as Jeanne d'Arc in French, is one of the history's most remarkable figures. She was a teenage peasant girl who claimed that God has chosen her to save France during one of its greatest periods. Although she lived only about 19 years, her courage, faith, and leadership changed the course of French history and inspired generations around the world. Today, Joan is remembered as a military leader, a symbol of patriotism, and a saint in Catholic Church. Her story combines history, religion, politics, and personal conviction, making her one of the most studied women in history. John was born around 1412 in the small village of Domremy. Her parents were farmers and her family lived a simple rural life. As a child, John helped with farming and household work, learned sewing and spinning, was deeply religious, attended church regularly, could not read or write, which was common for peasant children of her time. People who knew John later described her as kind, honest, hardworking, and unusually devoted to prayer. To understand John's importance, it's necessary to understand the situation in France. At that time, France was fighting the Hundred Years' War against England. The conflict was not a continuous war but a series of battles over more than a century. England claimed the French throne, while many French nobles were divided among themselves. By the early 1400s, England controlled much of northern France. Many important French cities had fallen. The French people had lost hope. The rightful French heir, Charles VII, had not yet been crowned king. Many believed France might disappear as an independent kingdom. When Joan was about 13 years of old, she said she began hearing heavenly voices. She believed these voices came from Saint Michael, Saint Catherine of Alexandria, Saint Margaret of Antioch. According to Joan, these saints instructed her to remain poor, trust God completely, help save France, lead Charles to be crowned king. For several years, Joan kept these visions mostly private while praying and preparing herself spiritually. By the age of 16 or 17, Joan believed it was time to act. She traveled to meet local officials and insisted she must speak with Charles. Most people laughed at her. Imagine the situation where she was a teenage peasant girl. She had no military training. She had no political influence. She claimed God had sent her. Despite these obstacles, Joan remained determined. Eventually, local supporters helped her travel to Charles' court. In 1429, Joan met Charles. According to tradition, Charles disguised himself among his courtiers to test her. Joan reportedly identified him immediately. She then explained her divine mission. Although many advisors doubted her, church officials questioned Joan carefully about her beliefs and found no evidence of hearsay. Charles decided to trust her. Joan was given an armor, a horse, a banner, and escort. Although she did not command armies in the modern sense, she inspired soldiers with remarkable confidence. Her famous white banner carried religious symbols rather than weapons. Joan preferred carrying the banner or carrying a sword because she believed it represented God's guidance. She encouraged soldiers to attend Mass, pray, avoid eating, treat civilians respectfully, live moral lives. Her presence promoted waged war. The Siege of Orleans. One of the John's greatest achievement was helping lift the siege of Orleans. The city of Orleans has been surrounded by English forces If Orleans fell, France might lose the war. John arrived in April 1429. Although experienced commanders were cautious, John urged bold action. During one battle, she was struck by an arrow in the shoulder. Instead of giving up, she returned after treatment and encouraged the soldiers to continue fighting. Soon afterwards, the English withdrew. The victory shocked Europe. For the French, John had become a symbol of hope. The march to Reims. After Orleans, John persuaded Charles to march towards Reims. Many towns surrounded without fighting because John's reputation had spread rapidly. The journey was dangerous because much of the territory remained hostile, yet city after city accepted Charles. Charles is crowned king. On 17 July 1429, Charles was crowned in Reims Cathedral. This fulfilled what John believed God has commanded. The coronation had enormous symbolic importance. It confirmed Charles as a legitimate king of France in the traditional coronation city. John later said this was one of the happiest moments of her life. Even after Charles became king, the war continued. John wanted to press forward and completely drive the English from France. However, political disagreements slowed military efforts. Some advisors believed negotiating was wiser than continuing aggressive campaigns. John became frustrated but remained loyal. In 1430, while defeating the town of Compiègne, John was captured by Burgundian forces who were allied with England. She was later sold to the English. Instead of treating her as a prisoner of war, English authorities wanted to destroy her reputation. If they could prove John was a heretic, they hoped to weaken Charles' legitimacy. John's trial began in the city of Rouen. The proceedings were controlled largely by church officials loyal to the English. John faced many accusations including heresy, witchcraft, false visions, wearing men's clothing. She defended herself with remarkable intelligence. Although she had no formal education, many of her answers impressed even our judges. One famous exchange occurred when she was asked whether she knew she was in God's grace. She replied, I am not, may God keep me there, and if I am, may God keep me there. The response avoided theological error and demonstrated extraordinary wisdom. On 30th May 1431, Joan was sentenced to death. She was taken to the marketplace in Rouen. She requested a cross to hold while she prayed. At about 19 years old, Joan was burned at the stake. Witnesses later described her as praying until her final moments. Afterwards, her ashes were scattered into the Seine to prevent the collection of relics. 25 years later, Charles VII ordered a new investigation. Many witnesses were questioned. The retrial concluded that John's original trial had been deeply flawed and politically motivated. In 1456, John's conviction was officially overturned. She was declared innocent. Centuries later, Joan's reputation continued to grow. She became a symbol of faith, courage, patriotism, sacrifice. In 1909, she was beatified by the Catholic Church. On 16 May 1920, Pope Benedict XV canonized her as a saint. Her feast day is celebrated on May 30, the anniversary of her death. Historical records suggest Joan possessed several extraordinary qualities like strong faith. Everything Joan did was rooted in her religious convictions. Whether or not one accepts her claims of divine visions, there is little doubt that her faith shaped every major decision she made. Courage. Joan repeatedly entered dangerous battlefields despite having no military background. She endured wounds, imprisonment, and death without abandoning her convictions. Leadership. She inspired soldiers not only through strategy but through confidence and moral example. Many veterans said her presence transformed the army's morale. Humility. Despite her faith, Joan continued to describe herself as by historians and eager scholars. Joan's life had a lasting effect on both France and the wider world. She helped restore confidence in the French cause at critical moment of the Hundred Years' War. While she did not end the conflict herself, her victories and influence strengthened Charles VII's position and contributed to France's eventual success. Her story also challenged assumptions about equality. As a young woman from a farming family, she demonstrated that leadership can arise from unexpected places. Joan became an enduring cultural symbol in literature, art, music, theatre, and film. Her life had inspired countless works exploring themes of faith, justice, identity, and courage. Today, Joan of Arc remains one of the history's most admired figures. She is honored in churches, monuments, museums, and schools throughout France and around the world. Historians continue to debate aspects of her life, but there is broad agreement that her determination and influence were extraordinary. Her legacy endures because she showed how conviction, resilience, and leadership can shape history even in the face of overwhelming odds. Whether viewed as a military heroine, a national icon, or a Catholic saint, Joan of Arc's stories continue to inspire people across cultures and generations. Today, Joan is remembered as a military leader, a symbol of patriotism, and a saint in the Catholic Church. Her story combines history, religion, politics, and personal conviction, making her one of the most studied women in history. Joan became a symbol of faith, courage, patriotism, sacrifice. In 1909, she was beatified by the Catholic Church. On 16th May 1920, Pope Benedict XV canonized her as a saint. Her feast day is celebrated on May 30, the anniversary of her death. Joan's life had lasting effect on both France and wider world. She helped restore confidence in the French cause at a critical moment of the Hundred Years' War. She did not end the conflict herself. Her victories and influence strengthened Charles VII's position and contributed to France's eventual success. Her story also challenged assumptions about who could lead. As a young woman from a farming family, she demonstrated that leadership can arise from unexpected places. Joan became an enduring cultural symbol in literature, art, music, theatre, and film. Her life has inspired countless works exploring themes of faith, justice, identity, and courage. Legacy endures because she showed how conviction, resilience, and leadership can shape history, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Joan of Arc stories continue to inspire people across culture and generations. Hope this story inspired you also. So thank you for listening to this story.